Hello, welcome back. It is Meredith and today I have a super exciting video. I'm probably more excited than anybody else, it's quite sad. But I'm really excited to be announcing my very own readathon. Oh my gosh. And it is called the Bookemon Readathon, and as you can probably tell, it is heavily inspired by Pokemon. So, we've got a lot to go through for this video. I am quite overwhelmed and stressed, to be honest. So I'm going to try my best to go through everything clearly and hopefully leave this video knowing what you're doing, and I really hope that you do understand. If you do not, there will be an FAQ sheet which I'll go through in a minute. Please check there before you ask. If your question hasn't been answered there, please feel free to ask questions, don't be shy. There's many ways that you can ask questions which I'll go through. So if you're not understanding stuff, do not panic. I often don't understand readathons, but I'm too shy to ask questions and I just panic in a ball, in a mess, curl up in a burrito, cry. But you don't need to do that because you do not need to be shy to ask questions, even though I do it myself. Okay, we understanding each other? Let's go through the overview and the aim of this readathon. So again, it is inspired by Pokemon, but it's also inspired by like Neopets, Animal Crossing, all of those games that just have really cute creatures, which I have always loved. I have very many memories of being very young and loving Pokemon. I didn't have the games, I just loved looking at them. I thought they were so cute. So I've always loved cute creatures, and I do a 24-hour readathon every now and then, and there's always an animal theme each month, and all of the graphics are based on the animal. And that really inspired me to create this readathon because I was like, I really like that. Wouldn't it be cool if we could like collect them, and every time we participate we collect them? And then it blew up into this amazing thing that has nothing to do with 24-hour readathons, and it's really lovely to see how it has grown over time. While I'm calling it a readathon, it's kind of more a reading challenge that may have readathons throughout. But think of it as like something like Buzzwordathon, where it's a challenge that you work on throughout the year. And so rather than a really intensive readathon that takes up a whole month, I'm hoping this will be more just a chill yearly thing. We do have a mini round in December, but that's not compulsory. You don't have to do that. That's just there for people that want to do it. And so yeah, think of this as also kind of more of a reading challenge, if you will. So in the description, there is a Google Drive. I get confused with Google Docs and Google Drive, even though I think they combine, and I get very confused about that. And if you open that, you can find all your resources. So there's a resources folder and then there's an encyclopedia folder. I'll go through the encyclopedia in a minute, but in the resources, you will have the form that I'm kind of going through today, which has all the information. There's also the FAQ form there. And so in there is the Bookemon Readathon instructions. So you might want to go through that as well, but that's what I'm going to be going through here with you all. So the overview and the aim of this is that you are becoming a Bookemon trainer. You train and with the aim of becoming a zoologist, and there are many zoologist characters that you're going to meet throughout the readathon, and they are kind of the expertise of Bookemon, and that's your aim. You want to become a zoologist. You want to become the very best, like no one ever was. You're aiming to collect and research as many Bookemon as you can to fill up your, you guessed it, Pokédex. Oh god. So yeah, you want to fill that up with as many creatures as you can, but to be honest, you can create your own goals. You do not have to try and be the very best. You can just do whatever you want, and there's different goals that you can make throughout the year as to how many you want to get, which ones you want to get, all of that, which I'll go through. But yeah, the aim is to be researching, collecting Pokemon, which you do through reading. So how do you participate? You're all welcome to participate. You're all welcome. So you don't have to have Discord. You don't have to have any of this stuff. The one thing you do need to do is have access to the WordPress website. So that is linked in the description. That is where everything is going to happen. The Instagram, Discord are just there for people that want to be there in that space. You do not have to be by any means. All the information will be on WordPress. So that is the main thing that you want to have access to. You really can't participate unless you do, because that's where everything is. So when you click it now, there won't be a huge amount actually on there. Majority of the stuff I'm not going to drop until the first day of next year. And getting close to December, I'll drop a lot of the stuff for the mini readathon. So at the moment, you really can't see a lot, but you can start having a look around, maybe favorite the page so you have quick access to it. Now, all of your pages, such as your encyclopedia pages, which you're going to be filling out throughout the year, they are in the Google Drive. And so you kind of want access to that, but a lot of it will be posted on the WordPress as well, but it's kind of probably easier to get it through the Google Drive. Also, you can print these out or redesign your own, and we would absolutely love to see what you come up with. This is kind of just a setup. We've done it as like a digital thing. We were kind of tossing up between more of like a tattered old book encyclopedia or digital. We went with digital, but you can do whatever you want, whatever fits your vibe for this readathon. We would absolutely love to see what you come up with. But yeah, feel free to print them out, do what you will with them. They're there for you to use. This is where we go into how it works. Firstly, you want to download your encyclopedia pages. So again, they are in the Google Drive, and I'll go through all of the pages now, but that's kind of the stuff that you want to fill out. So there's 5 sections. The first page is the Bookiedex, the starter Bookemon, the tools, the item key, and the items list. Now, I do have some pages of the encyclopedia in the Google Drive that are written clearer just because the digital file kind of setup is a little unclear to read. Pages that are not just like kind of pictures, the ones that have writing, I've done clearer versions with just the normal Google Drive format if you need a resource that's a little bit clearer. So we'll go through the first page, which is the Bookiedex. This here is the Bookiedex. So this, as you can see, has silhouettes of all of the Bookemon that have been created so far. I'll go through what I mean by that in a second, but this is the majority of the Bookemon. So when you discover Bookemon, you'll go to a page where you will get a picture of the Bookemon, which has no background that you can copy, and then you can paste it over the silhouette to fill out your Bookiedex. So you're slowly filling out the silhouettes with the actual picture of the Bookemon. And that's basically what you're trying to do. You're trying to fill in your Bookiedex, but again, you can set your own goals as to how many. You don't just have to try and get all of them. You can just kind of do what you want, but that's how you fill it out. You're unlocking Bookemon, pasting them into your Bookiedex and filling it in. The next page is the starter Bookemon. I will go through that later, but that is for the mini round that we're going to do in December. Then you have your tools, which is also for the mini round. So I'll go through that when I go through the mini round. And then we have the items key. So the items key and items list are basically your 2 most important documents. So your items key looks like this. It's a bunch of pages with a bunch of items in boxes, but each of these is a combination, as you can see, of items, and these are the items you need to lure out a Bookemon. So that's how you lure out Bookemon. You get items that they want. Once you have them, it'll come out to you. So, you know, they make you work for it. They're not just going to come out willy-nilly. They have items that they want, and when you have them and hold them out to them, they will come out from their hiding place, and that's how you lure them out and discover them, research them, all of that. Throughout the year, you're wanting to get items, and when you complete combos, you can unlock your Bookemon. So whether you want to go through the list and work on ticking off different combos, or you just want to read normally throughout the year and just see what you unlock as you go, rather than being like studious and trying to fit the combos, it's completely up to you. We've tried to cater to every kind of reader, and so there's some that are super easy to unlock and then some that are a lot harder, so you might just try and go for the easier ones. It's completely up to you what you want to do. But yes, that's all your combinations, and you've got like quite a few pages of those. Now these item keys are only for the basic Bookemon, and I will go through all of the different types of Bookemon in a bit. So for example, Honey and Daisy, which is the first combo, there is a Bookemon that wants that. So that's kind of an example. You go, okay, I need to get Honey and Daisy to get this exact Bookemon. After I go and do whatever I need to do to get those items, I can then go to the WordPress website and unlock it. So once you do complete the combination, you can go to the WordPress website. Now this is not set up as of yet, but it will be once the readathon actually begins next year. What you do is on the main homepage, there are these tabs, and what you want to do is click regular Bookemon when you have completed one of these combos. And when you click regular Bookemon, you're going to get to a page with all of these combos that you can see in your encyclopedia. So you scroll through until you find the one that you completed, you click that, and you go to your post with all the information and pictures on your Bookemon. So in that page, you're going to get the page about the Bookemon, you'll get your picture with no background that you can paste into your Bookiedex, and there's also kind of a little fun storyline to go with that if you want to read that as well. So that's kind of how you do it, and that's the basic Bookemon. So you might be like, okay, how do I get the prompts? How do I know what I need to do to get these items? That's on your items list. And again, this one is written clearer if you're struggling with the font in the actual like encyclopedia page. You can also go to that and all of the items and prompts are listed there. So your items list has every single item in that item key in a list. So you find it, and then corresponding next to it is what the prompt is. Now, some of them are live prompts, some of them are reading, some of them are time intensive. So you've only got a certain amount of time to do them. So please check over them because you don't want to miss out. There is one that you have to do something every single month of the year. It's the hardest one to do. So please check, because if you're trying to get all of them, you need to make sure you're onto that. Go through all of those, read them, see what you need to do. But there are some that are like, read a book with 50% red on the cover or something. And then some are, again, harder. So that's all you need to do. So you look through your items key, you see an item that you want to get, you complete the prompt, then you go back. Once you've got the combo, you can unlock the Bookemon. I really hope that makes sense. So basically throughout next year, what you're going to be doing is going between the items list, the items key, completing different combinations of items, unlocking Bookemon, and filling out that Bookiedex. So now we'll go into the different Bookemon types. So as of now, there are 4 different types of Bookemon. You've got your regular, and the starter Bookemon are regular, but I will go through them later on for the mini round. So you've got your regular, your monthly, your seasonal, and your mythical. If you're really overwhelmed by how many different ones there are, you can just go for the regulars, which are all of the ones that are in your encyclopedia. So the regulars are just easily available to you all year, and you can just work on that. And they consist of 36 of the 60 Bookemon. So you might just make your goal, I want to get all 36 of the basic Bookemon. I'm not going to worry about the other types. And the basic Bookemon are there for the people that want something more chill. And then these other ones are there for people that want more of a challenge. So you really do not have to go for everything. Again, you can set your own goals. Yeah, they are available all year. Do remember that some of them do have those time-intensive prompts, but generally speaking, they're all available all year. Then we have the monthly. So the monthly are only available for 1 month each year. So we've got 12 of the monthly Bookemon. So every single month, one of your zoologists will drop a video, and we will link that in the WordPress website for you to go and watch, and that will give you what item you need and what prompt. There's only ever one for each of these, so you only need to complete one prompt to get one item to lure out the monthly Bookemon. And they're not too hard. Some of them are harder than others, but yeah, so this is just one that you need to do each month if you want to get these. You can just choose to get whichever ones you want. It's just there for a little extra bit of a challenge. So yeah, you only have 1 month to get those instead of the whole year. So there's 12 of those ones. So on the first day of each month, you'll get your video. So you have until the last day of the month to read your book, do your life prompt, whatever it is. And then once the month is over, you can't do it anymore. Obviously, this is a case of trust. Some people might just do it. I can't control what everyone does, but if you want to follow the rules and do it properly, you don't get it. That's just kind of how it is. Then we have seasonal, which is pretty similar in that they're only available for a certain amount of time. These are only available for a season, and they are based off the corresponding season. So in the world of Bookemon, there are 3 seasons that go for 4 months. So the 3 seasons are Snow, Petal, and Sun. So we've kind of just gotten rid of Autumn. Sorry, Autumn. I feel like Autumn's such a vibe, and I kind of like regret only putting 3, but it's fine. So obviously Snow is winter, and that goes for January to April. Then Petal is May to August, and that's kind of spring. And then Sun is September to December, which is obviously summer. And so you have those 4 months to get your seasonal Bookemon for each season. Each season has 3 Bookemon. So you've got 4 months to get the 3. Each one only has 1 item required, and that will also drop on the first of the month that the season begins in. So obviously January, you'll get your Snow Bookemon prompts. Then May, you'll get your Petal Bookemon prompts, and then in September, you'll get your Sun Bookemon prompts, and you will have those 4 months. So again, same thing. You can start at the beginning of the month, and then by the end of the month of that season, if you haven't completed them, you don't get them. There are 9 of those seasonal Bookemon. So those are all of the Bookemon that are in your Pokédex. But we also have mythical. And mythical are those elusive, rare Bookemon that even your zoologists don't know a lot about. I don't know how I'm going to drop these. I don't know what's going to happen. It depends what your zoologist can discover. But on the WordPress website, I will post about sightings and information of how you can lure out these mythical Bookemon. They're going to be a little bit more elusive, maybe harder. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I'm thinking about it. Depends what the mythical Bookemon want to do, I suppose. But yeah, they're not in your Pokédex. You will get a separate Pokédex page for your mythical ones, and that will come out whenever we start doing that. But yes, that's more elusive. We don't really know a lot about that as of now. So that's kind of the gist of your yearly reading challenge. So I really hope that makes sense. I also have a graphic that is in the Google Drive, and I'll pop it here, which goes through every sort of step. So hopefully you can use that to be a little bit clearer as to what you need to do. That's all you might want to do. You might just want to have the reading challenge. You don't really want to get involved with anyone else. You just kind of want to use it as your own little guide, fun way to do your reading throughout next year. And that is completely fine. But then we also have more community-based fun things as well, which you can do if you want, which I will go through now. So we have our mini round in December, and that's going to be the first kind of community one. I think I might do more fun little mini readathons throughout the year, but as of now, we've just got our mini readathon going in December. So it's the 1st to the 31st of December this year, 2023. And so there's 2 parts to this readathon. And again, it's not compulsory. You do not have to do this. It's just for those that want it, but it will be useful for next year. It's not completely useless. It is stuff that will help you. So the first part is getting your starter Bookemon, and then the second part is getting tools, which you can use to help you with the reading prompts. So I'll start with what the starter Bookemon are. So they're 3 Bookemon, and they are part of the basic Bookemon, but you can only get them now. You can only get them as starter Bookemon. When I say you can only get them now, you can get them next year. You do not have to get them during December, but you can start working on getting your starter Bookemon during December. But it has to be the first Bookemon you get because it is your starter. It's your special little buddy that you get to start your adventure. It's the same in Pokemon. You get your first little one and you go from there. And if you don't get it in December and then you get another Bookemon before you get a starter next year, you can't get a starter. So you want to get a starter first. Now there's 3 to pick from. You can only get one and you do not know which one you're going to get. So it's a little bit tricky. You don't get to pick which one and you don't know what they look like, but you're going to pick by the stones. So each one has a stone. This stone is also going to put you into which team you are. So there's 3 teams and each one corresponds with one of these stones, and each stone lures out a different starter Pokemon. Now teams, you don't have to worry about teams. If you just want to do the reading challenge by yourself, teams are irrelevant, but teams are there because we might do some fun little mini readathons throughout the year that are like a little bit of a competition between the teams. So I wanted to put them in for us to use later on. So they're not really relevant if you don't want to do this sort of thing, just don't worry about it. But if you want to be in a team but you didn't get a starter Pokemon, just pick whichever stone you want. You don't have to read, you just pick which team you want to be in essentially. But if you do get the starter, you do need to be in the team of which stone you picked. So the starter Pokemon, there's 3 to pick from. I am going to do a video later on in this month of me in costume playing as my zoologist character. And I'll go through this sort of stuff then as well. So there are 3 stones that you can pick from. You've got your Sky Stone, your Earth Stone, and your Moon Stone. Each of these lure out a different Pokemon. You don't know which one though, so if you look at the silhouette and you're like, I want that one, you don't know which one you're going to get. So choose wisely, that's all I'm saying. And again, that will also put you into either Team Sky, Team Earth, or Team Moon. Then the second part again of the mini readathon is your tools. Now, these are not compulsory by any means. So tools are things that you can get that you can use once next year. And so each tool has a skill and you use that skill to get a bonus or get an advantage or something like that. It will help you. Each one has a different skill. In your encyclopedia in the Google Drive, you do have a tools list, so you can look on there and see all of the skills of the items. We are not dropping the prompts until the 1st of December. All of our zoologists will be posting a very fun, exciting video for you. And they will be going through what your prompt is for that tool. So you can have a look at your tools list and see which ones you want to get. And then on the first day, you can go to the zoologist YouTube channels and watch their video and see which one you get. Just see which tools you want to get. So for example, there's a tool, I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but if you get that tool, you can get a monthly Pokemon outside of the month that it's like normally constricted to. So say there was a monthly Pokemon that you didn't get to complete, but you really wanted to get, or you've seen after the month what it looks like because people have been posting and you're like, damn, that's really cute, I want it. You can use your tool and do the reading outside of that month to get it. But you can only use the tool once. Every single tool, it's only used once. So they all have different skills. So you might want to have a look at what those are and use them. But yeah, you'll look at what you think works for you. Think about things that you might struggle with. You don't have to get all the tools. You just want to get ones that you think will give you skills that will help you. Then at the end of the Google document, you do have rules. I'll just quickly go through that. The first one is just to be kind. If you're going to be in the community spaces, no kind of harassment, negativity will be tolerated. All of the Bookemon have been drawn by myself and other lovely people that are part of the community. They're all your zoologists, so we don't ask you to comment on the art. Please don't make comments on it. We aren't here trying to be amazing artists. We're not, charging for these pictures. We just did them to create this fun readathon. So if you're looking at them and you think they're shit, we don't want to hear it. Please no comments and be nice to each other. No kind of racism, homophobia, anything like that will be tolerated. Use correct pronouns. All of that is a safe space. So if you don't follow these rules, you'll be kicked out. If you have any questions, there is again that FAQ page, but you can always ask questions in any of the spaces. If you're unsure if a book counts, like quite a few of them are like 50% of the cover needs to be this color. And if you're not sure, just count it. I'm really not being that strict. It's not a competition. Obviously we might have mini rounds that are competitions. That might be a little bit more strict, but for your reading challenge, it doesn't really matter. I just say 50% to say like, it doesn't need to be entirely that color, but it's not really supposed to be like, there's this tiny blob of red, so it counts. Like, no, you need like a decent amount of red on the cover, but it doesn't entirely need to be. That's kind of what I mean by 50%. So all of the prompts are kind of there and you can do what you want. If you want to stretch them, I don't care. It's not meant to be that strict. It's just a fun challenge and do what you want with it because it's not a competition. It's just for you to enjoy your reading for next year. So don't feel like you have to keep asking, does this count? Does this count? Does this count? just count it. Honestly, if it's got to the point where you're thinking about asking, just count it, because we just don't want to be blocked up with those questions throughout an entire year. It can get a lot for everybody, so just count the books. There are some prompts that are live prompts. If you're unable to do them, so some are like take pictures of flowers or something, for example, and you're not able to do that, just do something else that you feel fits in what you can do. I know that the live prompts can be a little bit isolating because not everyone can do them. I've tried to make them things that I hope most people can do, but I know not everyone can do. So just do your equivalent of what you think you can do. We're really not too fussed. Like if it's take pictures of flowers and you can't, find a picture of a pretty flower online and show people. And a lot of them say to take a picture and share. So if you don't want to be in one of these like spaces, just show someone you know, show your cat, show your dog, just show someone a pretty picture of a flower. Like that's all you need to do. They're just there to do something a little bit different, to kind of not make it all reading, and just encourage you to do things that make you happy, because a lot of them are meant to be there as kind of self-care to remind you to do nice things throughout the year, because we need to take care of ourselves. DNFs count at 50%. So if you DNF a book before 50%, doesn't count. Now, you cannot double up. So what I mean by you cannot double up, I'm just making prompts up here. These are not actual things. So say there's an apple and a pear, and you read a book that fits the prompt for apple and pear. You can't have a count for both. However, if you read a book for apple and there's multiple item keys that have apples, so say there's 4 item keys that all require apple, you only need to read for that once. So once you complete the prompt for apple, you get all the apples. So you can't double up a book for multiple items, but you only need to read for each item once. So if it pops up in multiple item keys, you get it in all of them. You tick it off everywhere it appears. So a really good strategy could be that you want to start with all of the things that appear multiple times. That could be a really good one. One that pops up a lot is catnip, because we made a lot of cats. We're just cat people, okay? So you might knock off the catnip and then you've ticked off stuff for heaps of them. There's also a lot of ants for some reason, so ant might be a good one. Like there's a few, if you look, that pop up a few times. And the last rule is to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Again, this is just meant to be for fun. Make your own goals. We hope to cater to everybody. So if you're more of a chill reader, you can just make your own goals that are a bit more chill. Or we've got all of these challenges for those that want them. And again, we're also going to have these community-based mini rounds throughout the year, which might be more of a challenge, like which might be a competition one between the teams. We'll see what we do. I wanted to leave a lot of room for growth with this. I didn't want to start with everything. I had so many ideas, but I was like, just keep it small so you have room for growth. Don't do everything at first, because then this cannot change and evolve. And I think that's a really important thing with readathons, is that there's room for growth, and there's so much we can do with this. So yeah, I really hope that you'll join us. So the Discord, the Instagram, and that WordPress website are all linked down below. We'd love to see you in the Discord chatting. Yeah, the Instagram is also there. I'll be doing lots of fun little like quizzes and stuff about the Bookemon over there. So I really hope that you just have fun with this and join us. You don't have to like Pokemon to do this. They're not actually Pokemon. We have created and designed these ourselves. If you like cute animals and you like ticking things off and reading goals and all of that, I think you'll have a great time with this. So yeah, I really hope you'll join us, and yeah, let me know down in the comments if you're going to join, which team or which like stone you're thinking about going for in the mini round. Yeah, let us know you're there, and I will hopefully see you around for the readathon. And again, I will be posting a video soon as my zoologist character, going through the mini round again, and giving you some information about that. And then on the 1st of December, all your zoologists will appear and we'll all be posting our tool prompts. So I really hope to see you around. And also I have linked all of the zoologists down below as well, so you can go subscribe so you're ready to see their videos. And thank you to my zoologists for your help. I've had a lot of help with this. I don't think it would be what it would be without the help, because I'm not the best artist as well. So having other people do drawings was really helpful, because towards the end I was really struggling. I was really struggling with time, creativity, so it was great having other people draw some, and it gives a little bit more variety as well. So thank you to all the people that have helped me, and yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun with this. Yeah, until I see you next time, trainers. Bye.